All right, so you can use the 2 octave scales now to keep basic bow strokes in good shape. I like to, well, I gotta be honest, I should do all these bow strokes regularly if I want to be in tip-top shape, I guess. But I slack off and just do some of them sometimes. But here are a bunch of bow strokes that you can try to improve all the basic strokes. Okay. First off, I like to start off with dividing the bow into 4 parts. So I'll play the first note at the frog in the first quarter of the bow. So, well, before we start, I mean, imagine that the bow is 4 separate parts. So there's a quarter here, quarter here, quarter here, quarter here. I'm going to play one note 4 times here, the next note 4 times here, next note 4 times here, 4 times here, and then keep moving to a different section as I go through the scale. So, like this. And then I go to the next section. I guess that wasn't 4 strokes. I was thinking you do need one extra stroke to travel to the next section. I'm sorry about that. 3, 4, 1. And then. Okay, that's just half the scale. But that's one way I like to warm up because sometimes just warming up with long bows, even, I don't know, even after all these years of playing, sometimes just basic naked playing seems so foreign. This really helps me to increase my bow discipline, makes me feel each part of the bow more physically and clearly, and is, I think, a great way to start. And after that, I do just nice big whole bows, but I loop between the notes. So I'll do one note, and then go to the next in the bow stroke. As I practice like this, I try to remember all the mechanics of the bow stroke that I already talked about in the weirdly titled Vox Humana or something, as well as the what was that video? Talk about the down bow, up bow, the mechanics of the arm, as well as the bow grip. So I'll be thinking about those things and trying to focus on getting them right and also feeling them as much as possible. Just like I think Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about, I'm sure a lot of other great athletes too, but he's the only one I remember right now. He talks about if you want to really grow the muscle, you speak to the muscle or something like that, right? And he says that he really is feeling that muscle flex and tear apart. And in any case, he's focusing on that muscle, right? He's talking to it to make it grow. Same thing with us. We need to, whenever we think about, oh, I got to hit my violin up, instead of just making it up, just putting it up, we need to feel and speak to ourselves and the violin, really feel what that feels like to keep it up. And that will stay much more firmly in our actual playing. Okay, anyways, I digress. So after that, I will probably do slurs. I've already talked about that. 2, 3, 4, 4, and then 6, and then up in one bow. Okay, and as I do this, my main focus is obviously evenness, and I learned from one of my teachers that the way he is able to keep the hand balanced. Like, for example, is it too this? Is it too tucked in? Is it too tight? Is it too high? As well as the actual strengthening of the weak fingers, that actually evens out the all that evens out the runs. Very often we get advanced, myself too, and we can't even play that kind of a simple scale across all 4 strings, no shifting involved even, and keep that even and fast. And so part of the problem, okay, can be solved by finding a good balance where you feel like all 4 of your fingers can fall onto the fingerboard without any weird extensions and clamping involved. So if there's a weird clamping, like you're clamping back, it's going to obviously make it harder. But if you have a good position, find the position where you feel like your fingers can drop to the violin, finding that angle depending on the size of the hand. The average smaller hands are more forward, and then bigger hands, and depending on the also proportions, can keep the elbow farther back, but that all is very relative. In any case, I focus on those things, feeling for the balance of the fall of the fingers as I do the fast scales. After that, you can do some basic strokes at the tip, martelé maybe. And this will easily keep those strokes in shape. You can also do détaché. It's easy to do détaché with the simple 2-octave scale. You put some weight into the bow hold, so that it's more like a grip now instead of just a hold. Try to get that flat hair, good contact. And so on. Okay? Cool. After that, I also would do some collé at the frog. Notice that I do martelé at the tip, with the extra stick, and I do métaché in the middle, and collé at the frog. I try to use my hand and fingers as much as possible. So as I do this, I make sure that I'm always setting the bow on the string. I'm not slapping the string. I'm not coming down like this, but instead I'm starting from the string with a nice bite, right? And I'm picking up the bow from the string. Okay, I think this, if you're able to do this with your fingers, this definitely helps you have better control of that kind of stroke. Yeah, and those would be basically the exercises. Any other strokes, like for example upper staccato or something, I like to do with 3-octave scales, like right, something like that. It's just, I find that it's just more realistic than doing it with 2-octave scales, because most of the time in the repertoire, you find it in virtuosic romantic pieces where you're usually running around 3 octaves or more. Of course, if you're trying to isolate it and you're not advanced with it, then I would definitely just do it on the open strings. And again, use the 2-octave scale slowly, or like like that, and so on. Okay? All right, I think those are my favorite strokes to keep myself in shape, the 2-octave scale, and I'll see you later. Peace. Bye.